What's up, everyone? We're back with more Blue Archive. We're going to do red and blue today, close it out. Joined as well again by Jason and Ollie.
Hello.
Hi.
And we're just going to jump right into it, starting here with red. So this is level 0 Cherno. On play, look at the top card of your deck, put it on top of your deck or into your waiting room. So on play, surveil 1, and then it is a Fuka 0. So on death, you can discard a card to look at the top 4, add a level 1 or higher card to your hand. So
Really
nice
good
early
Fuka.
deck speed. Yeah, good Fuka.
Yeah. My little communist can't be this cute.
Mm-hmm.
That fucking mustache fucking makes me laugh.
Yeah, the mustache
thin.
is really funny.
So it's a little like stick on, so it actually she can like it'll spin and stuff and she falls off.
Oh.
She's great. I love Cherry now. So funny.
All right, next.
Fukas are good. All right, we have 3/2 Aru. If you have 2 or more Kivoto's characters, it gets 2k power. Primary combo, pay 1, ditch 1. When this is put on stage by the effect of standby, so either playing it or triggering it, you may pay the cost. If you do stand this, no effect, this works also when triggering the standby. So this is what we were talking about with when we talked to you about yellow. With the Mocha yourself, you can dig for the Aru standby, trigger it, summon the Aru in a lane that already attacked, and then restand it, and then it gets to attack again. It's pretty neat. It's pretty cost efficient. Pay 1, ditch 1 obviously is literally just the standby that you triggered and then plus a card in your hand for an extra attacker. I've always been a fan of this effect personally. I love Lion. I think
Lion's really fun to play with. The super nut deck, the like 6 standby 2 choice is like really fun to play when you get the turns where you like get an entire extra turn's worth of attacks at level 2. You feel like a god. There is a support card that lets you exchange like climaxes in your waiting room with Problem Solver 68, which is her standby, and like shove it back into the deck. So you have more opportunities to trigger this specific climax. But you know, it's still a little sacky, which is like the issue with the strategy. But it is fun.
Yeah.
And I like Aru. She's such a dork. She's like my favorite character.
Oh, she looks so evil.
Yeah, and then
she looks evil here, but she's a dork. Yeah.
I see.
She tries to act all cool, and then she's actually
but she's not.
Oh, she's one of those.
Yeah.
Tropes.
Dude, I love her. She's so funny. She is my favorite character.
She's actually the reason I started Blue Archive was for her.
Same. I love Aru. All right, next.
This is Hina.
Ollie.
Yeah, 3/2 Hina. If you have 2 or less climax in your waiting, this gets +1 level in hand. Experience 4. This gets 1500 power in the following ability. When this card's battle opponent's reversed, you can pay 1, ditch 1 to deal 1 damage to your opponent, and then I'll play heal 1.
This card does everything. Yeah. This is just the do everything card.
This card is really good.
She attack, she defend.
You know, I actually was talking to Brian from Nova PG about this, or from Strictly, whatever. And he asked me like what the best card in Blue Archive was, and I told him it's the Mika that we talked about in yellow, and then the Yuka that we'll talk about in blue. And he's like, "Oh, what about the Hina EP?" And I'm like, I mean, I think that card is really good. The problem with that card is that
it's not Yuka
in red.
Yeah, and it's red.
It's
yeah,
red.
It's also red.
Like it's in red. Not that red is a bad color. It's like a fine color, and then Hina, just kind of like Yuka will be, is a very good experience target for red itself. It's just that there's really no room to play red cards, and there's not a lot of high value red cards that are not the deck for the deck themselves.
You also hit the issue where like Mika is like the really good off finisher, and Yuka is the really good healer, and this is like a strike the middle line between the two. And it's still a good card, but because you have these other very polarizing options, you know,
wants to be your mid game. And you want to use that mid game ideally.
Yeah.
So it's a little awkward with the way Blue Archive is structured now. This card could be really good come set 2 though. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if this saw a ton of play. All right, moving on. We got this Miyako.
This is Kyoko.
Oh, Kyoko. Sorry. Let's play it in their hand at the stage. You can discard 1, reveal the top card of your deck. Choose a level 1. It's Rico. That's what I was mixing up my Blue Archive.
I love Rico. Woo!
Rico's really good.
This is no play in this set. Doesn't make it not a good card though. Rico is always
vanilla Rico is still a great card. So
see Oliver out here
Huh?
C
I
plus
mean,
on
it's
a
good. It's
Rico?
just but like they
C
fucking
plus on a Rico,
Yeah,
man.
man, dude.
they print this in everything, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's
Yeah,
the
and
it's
it's good in
the
everything.
yeah. It's
That's like saying Brainstorm should like
Look, man, on the
like
Strictly
B in a
stream,
few
we still
days.
tend to give Ricky's 4 stars. We also give Rico
Dude,
4 stars
Rico,
every fucking time.
every set gets a Rico, dude. This is like the privilege era. Every set
Look,
gets the
look,
most premium filter ever.
Look, you say it, right? But then every time there's a set that
It
doesn't,
doesn't
get a
have
Rico,
one. I want to kill
you're
myself.
like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
I literally
You
want to
look at your
die.
card, you're like, I don't have a Rico? Huh?
Yeah, every
Like,
single time a
you
set
just
doesn't
expect
get
the
one.
standard of profile. When I don't get it, I'm like, this game.
Or it's like on a level 1 and like locked
Yeah.
behind like a
And
color
you're
that
like,
you
it's
don't want to play.
fine, but
I
like,
think if it had a second effect, I would rate it higher.
this is
But I
privilege.
think
This
as
is
a
white.
vanilla,
This
I
is
think
white.
Yeah,
people
this is
man.
privilege, man. I can't believe, dude. I can't remember any Blue Archive characters' names. I didn't
This
play
is,
the game long enough. All right.
Oh, you mean Kyoko? This is
Yeah,
Minori.
yeah.
0/0 Minori. Once put on stage from hand, you may perform the following effect. Search your deck for a Kiboto's character, send it to waiting room, shuffle your deck afterwards. Foolish Burial, Armageddon Night, whatever you want to call it. My beloved. This was the
first one.
First
Yeah.
trait specific one. Saikano had it first for writing, a writer or whatever, for Utaha.
Oh,
only
okay,
done Utaha.
okay. Only done with but this is.
But this is the first generic one. Because then the Quince PB came a little bit after this.
I mean, this is like a very
itself,
specific strategy.
Yeah. So card itself,
yeah.
insane. In Weiss, being able to selectively dump cards to grave is extremely strong because obviously standby exists as a mechanic. So having a level 0 that costlessly just sets up your standby for you with no thought, no nothing, is insane. Nino has proven this. Nino plays 4 of the Foolish Burial. Granted, their Foolish Burial is broken because it also has pay 2 salvage on it for whatever reason on death. I'll never know why.
I love that card.
Yeah, that card's insane.
That card is fucking disgusting. But this card, all the same, I think is really good. If Blue Archive Standby gets better with the anime set, I think this card will be played at a 4 of, most likely.
Let's be honest. The likelihood of Standby getting good in set 2 is so high.
It's high.
In Blue Archive, like you can see it as you go through the set review, as you look at the cards.
already good enough to be
you're literally only missing like a couple pieces, and it's the early game pieces. Like you get some of the early game standby stuff, and you're actually just off to the races.
Yeah, we did this.
Yeah, so and you already have this for your filter
you have
engine,
this,
and you have Rico.
Fuka.
Yeah, you have Fuka. You're like good to go. So you're only missing a couple things. It is very very reasonable, and you have good targets. Like we saw the Hina, right? Like that's an incredible card. The standby level 2,
good EP target.
But like
for sure. Yeah, I think the bone, like the skeleton is there. It just needs a little bit more.
Needs a little more juice, and it'll be good.
And this card will be one of the problems in it. It will always be a problem.
Absolutely.
They keep printing this effect in standby decks. So, yeah.
All right, moving on. Ollie.
All right, I got this 1/0 demonic looking girl.
Fuka.
She's
an angel. Thank you.
Wow, this is a Rico.
Not actually an angel, but like as a personality, she is like.
This is a Rico, not a Fuka.
Wrong. Yeah, Fuka.
So true. On play from hand, pick Kazuki, reveal attack card, level slower, salvage, and experience 2 when this attacks. Some cards in your level zone is 2 or more. Choose a character and give it 1k power.
It's Roboco. Pog.
Yeah. I mean, another decent card for a standby deck, I guess.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's just another Rico you can play.
It's not as good as Kyoko, but it's actually better than Roboco. I think it's bigger than Roboco. It pumps 500 less, but it also ditches anything.
Yeah, you don't have to ditch a character, so.
Obviously, it's experience too, though. That's why it can be a better power pump, or as good of a power pump. But yeah.
All right, who is this? Demon Girl?
Aruna.
Okay. When this stacks, if you have another Kivotos character, it gets 1500 power. And then when this stacks, if you have the door and you have experience 2, you can mill 2, choose a level X or lower where your waiting room, where X is the level combined level of the card's milled. And this turn, this gets 1000 power. X equals the sum level of the card's milled by this effect. So it's just the cigarettes. But it swings at 8k.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's just fine. It is cigarettes on a door.
Big cigs.
Swings at 8k.
You know, I'm a big pilled on the I want my cigarettes to all be the Kana from Oshinoko now.
Well, yeah, because the Kana is like
Infinity.
fucking unbelievably
But
good. Like that
Kana
card's
is
insane.
so good. But it's fine.
If you
AK
got good
cigarettes are
zeros,
fine.
and like we've seen decent tech zeros, if you got good zeros to pick up, cigarettes just generally has higher value. So I'm down. My early cooks definitely included this card when we really didn't know where the set was going. I played quite a bit of it, just like 8-door like good stuffs, but it ended up not being as good as Hifumi. But
true.
All right, next, Jason.
We have 1/1 Iroha. This is level X to Kivodos, and then it is ditch 2 at the start of your Encore phase. You may deal 1 damage to your opponent. There's a world where this is good. We're not in that world right now.
Nope. Another card to look out for.
Text.
6 standby target.
Yeah, ditch 2 burn 1 Encore phase is pretty not bad.
If you hit the standby and you put it out, you can, and you need the damage, you can literally just do it at the end of the turn. You can Setsuna your opponent for 1.
Fucking stand by like 2 or 3 of these out. Just ditch your whole hand.
You could. Kill. Yeah, you absolutely could. All right. Oh, here's that card I was talking about. Ollie, go ahead.
This is Haruka.
All right, got this 2/2 Haruka.
Yeah.
3K assist 1500. Climax combo. Rest of the search your deck for up to 1 climax. Show it to your opponent, then choose 1 Aru climax 104. Is that this one or is that?
Yeah, that's the one on this thing. Problem Solver 68. Yeah,
they're part of the same team.
Oh, it's the same thing. In your waiting room, show it to your opponent, swap them, and shuffle your deck. Afterwards, then choose one of your opponents that gets 1K power. Okay, so it's a
CX in your deck.
It's a deck CX swapper, but it's repeatable.
It's not a deck CX swapper.
It doesn't swap the CX. It stuffs the Problem Solver 68 into your deck.
It rips one out of your deck and puts this from waiting room into your deck, so that you have the Lion CX in your deck.
That's incredibly funny.
Notably, if you like are already rolling and like you have the 1 choice and the choice is in your deck, you can swap any climax with the standby. Like it doesn't have to exchange a standby for a standby. It's just climax for climax.
It's for a standby.
I think B- is exactly right. This card is super cool, but also really awkward and also really fucking slow. Like,
but I love it.
Yeah, it is
so
really
funny.
Cool. Like when you get to use it, it feels like my opponent's like when I was like testing this again, I was like they were like, wait, what does that card do? And I'm like, it puts this card back in my deck. They're like, why? And I'm like, oh, you'll find out. Hopefully, hopefully you'll find out.
Yeah, then
why?
You shuffle it in your deck and you get your Lion trigger, and you're just like,
yeah, I did it.
Oh, I love it. This whole package is just so fun. It's definitely one of the more fun things you can be doing in VA. Good, fun,
yeah. It is fun. It's definitely not great, but it is cool. It is fun to play. All right. Oh, who's
this?
This
girl, Carmen? Do you know her name?
No.
This is Shigure. She's an alcoholic.
Shigure. Oh, that's why you asked me if I remembered. Okay. Oh, this card can on-side attack. But when this attacks, you can clock yourself to look at top 4 and add a character. It's a plus.
It is a plus. It's good.
Yeah. I feel like there's a world where this sees play in standby to milk cards and keep your hand up. Yeah.
They play this in 6 choice 2 standby too. Or standby 2 choice, whatever.
Moves through cards, accelerates you to get your like Aru stuff online. It could like move you to the next level. There's a lot of utility here.
It's like a better version of the Mushoku 1-0.
Yeah, it is. It's costless.
Yeah. You just punch yourself.
But it does it when this card also does it when you attack, so you can wait and decide if you actually want to be doing it. You're like, do I need to do that?
Yeah, you don't have to accelerate before you go to your attack step.
Yeah, Shigure is really good.
All right. Next.
All right. Aru 2/1, pay 1, ditch 2. When you use this card's backup and pay the cost. If you do, choose one battling character, give it +6 soul, 20 counter, +6 soul counter.
Yeah, you play this. You play this in your Hifumi deck. Any defensive deck, you play this.
Yep. It's just like in slime. As always.
As snake bitten as I am by +6 soul, you play the card. You play the card.
You always play it.
You always play it. You do use it when you have to use it because you would lose anyway.
Look, you were gonna lose anyway.
Yeah, in the situation you play it,
you were gonna lose. It doesn't fucking matter whether you take this head on 1 attack or 3 attacks. Like, it doesn't fucking matter.
The fact that these are characters is just so good. The fact that we get these characters and the cost, while heavy, is exactly as it should be. Yeah.
The only time this card ever feels bad is when you use it and then you cancel within the attack range of the card anyway, and you're like,
damn it.
Whatever.
now I'm really dead. But it's like, like ideally you use this at the last possible moment, so it doesn't matter.
And you're just like, all right, whatever. I just gotta cancel, man.
All right, next, Ollie.
Oh, we got the Hitler
Stalin.
girl again. Stalin girl.
Stalin.
That was the same thing.
No, it's not.
1/6K. Has hand on core. Then when it attacks you with a standby in your climax area and some level is 1 or more. Wow. Okay. So, real attack card in your deck if it's Kibo's character in an event and adds hand. Okay, it's Massachusetts.
Combo is like unbelievably shitty, but like
you can do it at 0.
Okay, it's unbelievably shitty, but I remember watching Simu's like deck tech and being like, you do just end up having to play this card and play into this card to make a lot of the standby piles work. And this is like leading into the problem as to why standby isn't currently played, despite these good level 0s, these good utility pieces. It's part of this reason is like there's this and like a 1/1/7/5, and like that's your fucking early game, and like a vanilla ass 2/2, and you got like nothing else to do.
You're either playing this empty or you're playing this really mid card.
Yeah, and this thing sucks. Like, loses to other standby decks.
This is not Eris.
Doesn't reliably plus you. Doesn't meaningfully dig you into a standby trigger to put on another board. That's the intent, but it's shitty at it. Card has lots of problems, but like I said, you can look up Simu's deck tech on Carmen TCG, where he talks about the importance of playing that card in that like 6 standby 2 choice deck. But it's still not great, but you end up having to use it. All right, next. This is back to me. You got this 2/1 event. If you don't have a Kavoda's character, this can't be played from your hand. Choose one of your characters this turn. It gives the following ability. When this card's battle opponent is reversed, choose a character in your waiting room, add it to your hand. Choose one of your opponent's characters and move it to an opponent's empty slot. So it is a 2/1 grappling hook that gives one of your characters on reverse salvage. So it replaces itself.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad at all.
It's really cool for the Hina combo and the TD.
Yeah.
Since you can use the extra to like, make sure you can get the reverse, and then you get your card back.
Yep. Make sure that you have your targets. Yeah, I like it. Good with the Hina stuff. All right, wrapping up red real quick. Notable profiles. There's this level 0. You reveal top. It's plus 2K. And then when it's on reverse, you reveal top. If it's level 2+, you pop it back to hand. I've seen this like pop up as red splash, which is why it's on here. Standby support card is the Mutsuki. It's come and play. Give 1K to another character, and when you play a climax, you can return it to hand. Rearrange your top 2, and then give 1K anywhere. So it's your typical bounce back climax support card. This other level 0 is a Brainstorm. It is come and play reveal top. It's level 2+. You can kill a level 0 in your opponent's front row. And it is a pay 1 rest self salvage Brainstorm. Another level 0 is come and play pay 2 salvage. Then act pay 1 sack self check top 4 add a character. So you can pay down a lot of stock with this one card to get 2 cards back. If you need to pay down 3 and you don't want to encore, it's like a weird tech card for that situation. There's this early play in red, which is a 2 or less early play, which is just come and play check X, add anything, but that X is your opponent's field, not your own. Weird, but it is an early play in there in red. And then this 1/0, which is experience 2 plus 3K, so it's going to be 6K all the time, as long as you have experience 2, and then it is a 1500 field backup. This saw play in standby decks because the 1/1 and that Cherno were so bad. This was like the only other thing that they could do with standby in the early game, which is like kind of what Azure Lane did. So people thought it would like be okay, but Azure Lane standby has this niche where it's the standby deck that like double freezes other standby decks, which this deck does not do. So it ended up not being good enough, but it is something that you could do.
True.
All right, let's just move on to blue, which has far more interesting cards than red overall. So, Jason, go ahead.
All right, this is 0/0 Himari. Brainstorm, tap self, salvage, and then experience 3. You can rest this if the summon card in level zone is 3 or more. Choose one character, give it 2K power. So it's like the Matsuri Brainstorm from Hololive, except it doesn't have to be. It just you have experience. It's not target level 1 or lower.
Yeah, so you can use it from level 1 onwards, but you can target anything.
Yeah, but it can target anything.
I think it's
really
pretty
nice
good.
for clean cut and stuff too.
Yeah, good for clean cut.
Really, really good Brainstorm.
All right, next, Ollie.
I got this level 0 Toki, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I remember this one because Jason talked about her all the time.
Toki's
This card is a marker underneath it. This gets 2k power. The following ability: start opponent's attack phase. You can move this to an empty front row slot, and then on play, you can reveal a attack card of your deck. If that card is a Gavo's character or an event, you may put it underneath this card face down as a marker.
Since I did not get the clean cut, and I have been playing my pre-con, not pre-con, but my like,
your pre-con.
Yeah, my pre-con that I bought from a Japanese card shop in Osaka, which slammed 4 of this instead of the clean cut. I have been playing this card for quite a while. I also played this card like on release a lot in all of my decks.
I did too.
3K free runner with all of the upsides of playing 4 Futamas in your deck is pretty good. Yeah, it's a pretty good card.
Until it misses,
yeah,
and then you're really sad.
You do want to die.
All the text. Because all the text
is pretty good.
It is not still a runner or anything when
if
you
it was
whiff.
still a runner, it'd be like I would probably still be playing this card. But because it is not always a runner and it is all tied to the event or the tied to the miss, and I'm really bad at not revealing a CX apparently. Clean cut also just works better in the deck generally, but this is still a very good card. All the same, very very strong.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Free runner
overall, pretty good.
Yeah, we saw the one. It's like the one in Titan, the blue one.
Zeke.
Yep.
Yeah, really hard to kill. We proved it. So.
All right, moving on to the blue card. Jason, you want to read it? You can read it. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll go. 3/2 Yuka. If you have 4 more Kivoto's characters, it gets -1 level in your hand. During your turn, this gets 2,000 power. Experience 6. When this card is placed on stage from hand, if the sum of the card in your level zone is 6 or more, you can pay the cost. If you do, discard 1, heal 1, and then salvage a character in your waiting room. This card is OP. This is the best,
this card is
the best early play profile in Weiss Schwarz.
Yeah, this card is nuts. You can do a
loop. Anything else?
You can do a loop with this. Yeah, where
that card doesn't have power, if I'm not mistaken.
So what you do, Hifumi does not heal in and of herself. However, on the second turn with Hifumi, if you have 2 of this, with all of your stock, you can just loop this and just play Yukas over Yukas and just continue to heal for as much as you possibly can. And you will do that because that is what the Hifumi deck does. You funnel your stock into defensive counters and healing with Yuka, and you just like Yuka loop. And that is like the most oppressive thing that Blue Archive can do. And it's only going to get better.
6 stock every turn, triple combo.
I do agree with Jason. I think this is like this profile or more like heal salvage is gross. I think this is really good. It's not even just that
it's 4 or more, heal salvage, and it attacks at a real power. Like
and you get the 10-5, yeah.
Fujimi, there's the Utaha that is a perfectly good card. It is this card, but it doesn't have the power, and I think not having the power has actually come up and shown that it makes it a little bit harder to play the card. I think the one in Heavenburn's Red is a 9-5, so this is, I think, the biggest one of them. Heavenburn's Red might actually also be identical to this card. I don't remember, but I think that card I thought that card was insane, Heavenburn's Red, and it's insane here. It's also my favorite character, but that's besides the point. I think this card is broken, and I would want this profile in literally everything that I could play it in. Because healing and then also getting to just hand fix because you healed, it's fucking insane.
It feels really. I feel like the card doesn't read as strong as we're like gushing about it. You got to play it in that deck, and you're like, oh,
you play it like any deck, man.
Okay,
you're like, oh, do I sculpt my healer or do I sculpt my you sit there, you have those decisions, right? It's like, oh, I really want to add my finisher to my hand so I can actually make sure I can play the turns coming up because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to sculpt. But I really want my early play because I'm going to be stuck at 2 more than likely, and I want to be able to actually play good cards. This just does both.
Yeah, it does both. You don't have to
and you
choose.
Can just pick up you pick up your combo right after, or you pick up another copy of this and you can play another one because you get to have cards like the helmet and stuff that clear you out of the board, or the grappling hook that can clear off the board. So you can just like easily resolve this 4 more EP effect. It's also the best EP effect, just what it is. It just does everything, man. But the only thing it doesn't do is kill your opponent. But it does everything else. It hand fixes, it heals, it has power, good EP, cute character.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Doesn't kill my opponent, unplayable.
It's so true.
Damn.
It's not Himmel and Freerun.
Yeah, it's not Himmel.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Ollie, you can just take this one, then we'll go back
Sure.
to this
Hoshino.
Hoshino,
3-2 Hoshino. Experience 6 of the sum of your experience 6, all your Kubota characters gets 1k power. And then on play heal, and then climax combo on attack if you have the Paris climax in your area. This turn to get 2k power, and choose one of the following 2 effects to resolve it. You may burn your opponent for 1, or you can discard 2 and burn your opponent for 3.
Like Roxy.
Yeah, it's Roxy, but on attack
Roxy.
instead of end of attack. I feel like
Better or worse?
Yeah, it's like
Shrug.
sometimes better, sometimes worse. It depends on the game state, depends on what happens. Realistically, I think it's fine. This is a totally fine
It works.
finisher. This is like totally
Modular
okay.
finishers.
I think
Nice and easy.
that if you're not playing Hifumi, you probably go into this somehow.
And it's also blue. It's like not hard
yeah.
to go in. It's not hard to play this card. It's just like less exciting to play this card.
Yeah, I feel like when you're comparing this to like Mika plus defensive counters, because this like doesn't draw, this like heals, but you have the Yuka loop to heal. I feel like playing into this and playing Mika plus defensive counters, they're like similar in power, but like one doesn't require a climax.
I mean, you're probably playing Mika with this card anyway. So.
That's true. You're probably just playing Mika.
What about 5 pants, 3 choice?
You could.
I've played 4 pants, 3 choice, 1 book.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd played the book as a 1, but
yeah. In the end, this card I think is just not high enough impact for that kind of deck. I see people do it though, for sure. Like there was definitely Japanese decks that did play 5 pants, 3 choice with this card, and it's definitely fine. There's no problem with it, but you just don't want to take the effort to find the pants. It ends up being the problem.
Yeah, because you put in all the effort and you get Roxy. It's not like
plus you're playing down your Icy Tails to find the pants to play this card when realistically you could have just put that effort into resolving the Icy Tail and probably
played another Icy Tail.
Similar outcome.
Yeah,
had a similar outcome. But yeah, this card by itself, healing, nice. It makes, if you have 3 of these, they're all plus 3k power. So they're 11-5, 12-5 with the climax, which is like good, and they're defensively pretty big. It's nice. It's like fine. I like it. It's just not exciting.
Yeah,
that's all.
I agree. It's just not very interesting. All right.
Noah.
Okay, level 0. At the start of your encore step, you may discard a card and sack the book from your climax area to waiting room. If you do, look it up to 3, choose up to 3, show them to your opponent, add it to hand, send the rest waiting room. Then is act, pay 1, rest this, reveal the top card of your deck, so long as it is a character, add it to your hand. So you only have to play 1 of it. You can get up to 3 cards with this. You do have to ditch, so it's a potential +2.
It's like Itsuki, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Itsuki. You get 1 Itsuki per turn. And you have pay 1+, yeah. Hopefully pay 1+.
I mean, if you hit a climax, you just brainstorm.
Yeah, if you hit a climax, you just brainstorm. So it's not the worst. I've played decks with this that like played a lot of the like level 1 auxiliary cards and like
the yellow stuff.
Yeah, or the yellow stuff. Yeah. So you have like a lot of different things that you can do with it. I think it's fine.
It's a cool combo.
Ends up being just not as good as other stuff you could be doing, but it's cool.
I like it with the yellow like act support stuff because this is an act
agree because that's
cards.
also an act. Yeah.
Yes, this is an act that triggers those cards. It gives you a card back to your hand, or it gives you brainstorm, or both because it could be 5 card. Obviously, and then you get to play the clean cut and stuff with it. So you can promote this card out and then swing with it. You just have that level 1. Like yellow has a lot of level 1s you want in the front row anyway. So this card just complements that play style with like the stock charger and stuff too that you put in like the notables. It just works, honestly.
Yeah. A lot of yellow cards that you want up front. All right, moving on here. Jason, you can take both of them. I put both of these in
1-0
here.
1-0 Momoi, my gamer. Continuous, if you have another front row 1-0 Midori, this gets 2,000 power. And then discard 1 when it's put on stage from hand or deck. You may pay the cost. If you do search your deck for the 1-0 Midori, place it on stage any card any slot, shuffle your deck afterwards. And then we have the 1/0 Midori, which is if you have the 1/0 Momoi, this gets 2,000 power. And then discard one when it's played on stage from hand or deck. You pay the cost. You do search your deck for the 1/0 Momoi, place it on any stop. So they're just like the Shadow Clone thingy, but there's 2 of them because they're twins and it's flavor.
They just shit
they're all
themselves out of deck.
65.
I
Or,
wanted to
65
include them
you
in
go,
the
like,
set
2 in 1.
review because I feel like
I love
these are
them.
Blue Archive characters that people know.
I love them.
They are very funny.
Momoi is the one that's in all the memes of being
Yes.
a gamer and then saying vulgar words.
Yeah.
Also the oh my god though.
Oh my god though. Yeah.
Yeah, the Carmen knows.
Yeah, I've seen all the memes.
Yeah, they're both C's. They're not cards you're probably gonna play, but they're cute.
Yep. Ollie.
All right, we got this 2/1. Jesus
Neru.
Christ. Neru. 2/1 5500, experience 3. Gains 5k power, so it's sits at 10/5. And then also experience 5. At the start of your Encore step, you have the pants in your climax area. And this is in your front row. And the sum of the levels of cards in your level zone is 5 or more. Set to 1 card from the top of your deck in your stock and choose 1 card in your waiting room at your hand.
Only this wasn't blind stock, man.
Yeah, it's like the worst version of this like 2/1 combo profile they like printing.
I think it's really
I
cool
have
because
messed
it's,
with this, but
it's Encore phase, no reverse needed, which is really cool. I think the problem is literally just blind stock is cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah, blind stock is cringe is the issue.
It's fine. It works. It does its thing. It's just not. It's just sometimes it ruins your deck because blind stocks and whatnot.
Yep.
But yeah, you did play with this, Carmen. I didn't bother to play with this. I saw you playing with it, and I'm like, I got what I need.
Yeah, at the beginning I tried it in a couple lists and it didn't work out.
It just wasn't good enough.
Nope. All right, next.
Arisu.
All right. On play, look it up to 3. Choose one from among them, add it to your hand, send it to the waiting room. And then when this attacks, if you have the book, you can pay 5, ditch 3. If you do, this gets 4,000 power before the following effect twice. Send the bottom 8 cards of your opponent's deck to the waiting room. Deal X equal to the number of climaxes to the waiting room with this effect.
Giga AP tail.
It's a big gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real
She's
gun,
got a
man.
real big gun.
She pumps.
I can tell by the effects. It's a big gun.
She pumps.
Yeah, this
card is really fun to play with.
This
really
was
fun.
the one book we were talking about.
Yeah,
You
this is the
play
one book.
I figured it was this one.
Four pants, 3 choice, 1 book.
So you go like your board will end up being like double Mika plus like 1 of this, and you're like, yeah.
All right, flip your whole deck over, buddy.
Yeah, I was gonna say you are. If there's climaxes up to that deck, they are going to the grave.
Yeah, you are refreshing your opponent. 100%. And that's like it's funny because it's like it's a lot of stock, but it's actually not that much hand because it's a cantrip, and a cantrip. And then ditch 2, ditch 3. So you actually like very reasonably have the hand to do this. And all you need is what, 8 stock? 9 stock.
Yeah, you need 9. Which would be a lot if Hifumi didn't stock you a bunch.
Sometimes you just get to free farm with Hifumi for like a turn, and then you're like, all right, sure.
If you play this, you're like trying to kill your opponent with this more often than not. If you like killing, you don't like sitting there and using defensive counters and
this
like
gives you that option.
Trying to spin out the game. That's why you would play this.
You only have to play like 2 of this card too, so it's like it's pretty slot efficient.
I played it. I went back to playing defensive counters because I'm pretty comfortable, but it is fun. Yeah,
it's very funny to just get the reaction out of your opponent when you read it for the first time and they're like, "Huh?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Twice?
Mill 8 twice?" And you're like, "Yeah, bro, I had to pay 5, ditch 3 for that. What do you mean?" They're like, it's just like, yeah, I had to pay I had to pay so many resources. You better believe it's something crazy.
It's the effect combined with how unassuming the art is, the character design.
Yeah. She was like,
I'm
this little girl with a big gun.
Yeah, my friend played this, and he played this with the blue event that we'll talk about in a few cards, just to try to fucking funnel the stock, because that card's actually like really good for resolving this card. Like really good for resolving this card. So he just tried to funnel stock and then go double combo, and it's like, yeah, I want to mill my opponent for 32 cards. It's like, yeah, yes, you sure do.
Only 32, man. I get milled for 72 every week. I
Yeah,
get Cinderella on every
Cinderella's
lane.
fucked up.
Yeah.
But that one doesn't have burns. That one just
Yeah,
makes
that
you
one doesn't
shuffle
have
them.
burns. You just have to shuffle it. All right, next.
All right, next we have 00 Yuzu. Auto, put one Kiboto's character from your hand into clock. When it's played on stage from hand, you may pay the cost. You do look at the top 4 cards of your deck, choose one card from among them, add it to hand, send the rest to waiting room, and then when a climax is placed in your opponent's climax area, you may send this to stock. There you go, Carmen. There's your pre-connect card.
Yeah.
This card's also pretty good. I like this card a lot, actually.
Yeah, I put like one of this.
Yeah. I played 1, I've played 2. 1 is a pretty comfy number. It's just however many you want to play. Some of you don't have to play it at all, but you obviously want to play the choice, and this is just a way to get you the choice.
It's also just good for like in the early game, you need to hit that stock threshold. So like even if you just have this out as an attacker, anything that helps get you there.
It feels really good too when you play this card down. You clock one, you find your pants, and then this is in the back row, and you're just like, all right, do my combos, do my thing, and then I got my pants. I got to play the game.
All right,
you already named this girl before. Do you remember?
Girl again? No, I forgot already.
Neru.
During your turn, if your level zone sum is 6, this gets 3k power. And then this ability activates up to once per turn. During a turn, this is placed on stage to hand. At the end of this card's attack, you send the bottom 3 cards of your opponent's deck to the waiting room. If there are no climaxes among them, stand this. What the fuck?
Yeah, this card's pretty funny.
Yeah, I've played this.
Good?
I've played this. No, it's not good. It's like the worst off. It was like an off finisher. I was like, oh, it's just like, but you just play more Mikas. Like, there's no reason to ever play this when you can play Mika.
Yeah,
it's quote unquote decompression.
It's reverse
free restander.
Right?
Yeah, it's Icy Tail that has to whiff.
If you mill the climax, the problem is when this card mills a climax and it misses, it doesn't do anything because you mill the climax that you're probably not seeing.
Probably a deep one.
So it doesn't matter.
Nah, dude, right? It's for when you mill 17 cards out of their deck.
I don't like this card. It's very funny.
You hit all the climaxes.
This card does not feel very good to play. I had a whole discussion with my local about this card too because we were like trying to debate if this card was good because we didn't know. It reads like it could be really good, and then you think about it in just the case of like, okay, well, if I Icy Tailed where I use this card, I would have gotten at least a burn one if I missed this card. But anytime my Icy Tail misses, this restands. But like, do I want to play for that chance? Because there's no upside to milling a CX. It's only downside.
Yeah, it's only downside. Yeah.
Icy Tail's obviously also only downside when you miss, but like, it's what it is. It means that's just how the luck happens to be. And
I think if we ever see a version of this where when you hit, you get like some sort of small benefit, like maybe a blind stock or something, that could be really good. But we'll see.
Oh, you get like if you miss, stand miss, otherwise do something else.
Yeah, do some lower benefit.
Yeah, sure.
Something like that.
Maybe that'd be better.
All right.
Also, if this covers like an EP, like the scene.
Yeah,
maybe,
if it was EP. All right, next.
Holy.
This is Amy.
Amy, okay. On play, look at top, leave it there, put it on the bottom of your deck, scry top, and then it is a console. Reveal top or character and event. Add it to hand, ditch a card. Yeah, you play this as your like costless filter. It digs you into brainstorms. It like digs you into filter. It moves 2 cards.
Also
it's like 7-card brainstorm. Yeah, it can find you Arona Nigsoul.
Brother, does she have zippers on her bikini?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Look, we're not gonna talk about the art. We're just gonna move on. Like it's Blue Archive, man. If this channel had monetization, these 2 videos would have been demonetized immediately.
You got to see her holiday art.
What's her name again?
Amy, EIMI. Her like you got the
Amy like EIMI. Okay.
Yeah, Amy. Because this version is very funny. She's just like dressed up, and then and nothing, and then she has like the winter like hat and stuff and the scarf.
Oh god. Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I see.
All right.
This girl is centered in China, if you can believe it.
Oh yeah, I can believe it. All right, Jason.
That's me.
Yep.
This is Sumire. If you have 2 or less stock, you fit gender power, and then pay 1, put the top card of your deck into clock. When it's played on stage from hand, you pay the cost to reduce search your deck for a 1 cost 0 Kivoto's character. 1 cost 0, Kivoto's character. Or whose level is equal to or lower than your level. Place it on the stage any slot. Shuffle your deck afterwards. This is the other Ricky you can play. Spawn Ricky is fine. It's 3K sometimes.
I play this one just to have the because I'm still playing Toki. All of my cards are 3K early.
I played this beforehand, and I just ended up wanting the consistency and the extra stock from the Mimori one instead.
Yeah.
The logic. It's good though. It works. It does its job. It's fine.
Yep.
No problems.
Totally fine card. All right, and lastly, event. Ollie.
Choose 0 event. Choose up to one of your characters is turned against the following ability. When this character's battle point is reversed, choose a Kivoto's character in your waiting room. You may add to hand. Send this to stock.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you play a bunch of these, get the card back on like the first Mika reverse, and then have the hand to go off on your other things.
Your stock
okay,
already.
Yeah.
The stock.
I see.
Yeah.
Is this an Evan deck?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I figured, but I had to ask.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that sounds super fun. Yeah, I mean that is a totally
event
fine,
itself,
reasonable.
Raw dog. This event is actually like perfectly good. 2-0 makes a stock, gives you a card back.
It's
Fine.
like a
Literally
toilet
no
where
problem.
it's like a toilet where you have to call your shot, but it's at level 2. Fine. That is like a totally reasonable event.
You look at your opponent, that card is dead. Your opponent looks at you and it's like, yeah, that card is fucking dead. I'm like,
yeah,
good.
it's just like good. I get my cards back. Free stock. All right,
salvage, yes sir.
Yeah, closing it out here. A couple blue notable profiles. We have this 1/1 that's a level assist on trigger of climax, so you can ditch a climax salvage. It might be something you want to play. This kind of like popped up in some early builds.
8 pants and stuff.
Yeah, 8 pants. Play this. We have this 2/1 Asuna as a memory kick back up. I'm sure this card, the foil, will go for a lot of money. This character's
yes, sir.
This character is very popular for two big reasons.
Some reasons.
Yeah, for two large reasons. If you have 2 or more other 2K on turn and as a pay 1 rest to search Brainstorm. So this card, I thought the design on this card was cool because it's a level 0 where you're meant to attack from it, but you rest the back row. There are cards that you can sack off. We saw the helmet. We have the the Amagi cards that can plus and grappling hook cards that can do effects and then either sack themselves or function without having to be rested. These can be very interesting. It's definitely a card to like remember Blue Archive has as the set gets more cards. Arisu, CX swap from deck. You're going to see this pop up in a ton of decks. Going to play that one pretty good. And then you have this, which is a deck helmet. So act, ditch 1, send itself to bottom deck, search a character. So just a couple blue cards in there.
Just deck helmet, good. Blue Archive has the privilege of having both. A lot of them don't have both.
You have a waiting room helmet and deck helmet.
Yeah, I mean, I've played all of these cards except for the Shiroko as like a one of at times where I think I might even still have Asuna in there now. I'm not sure, but I definitely have had both of the Utah cards in my deck at one point or another.
Mm-hmm.
And the Arisu is obviously always in the deck. But I think the Utah actually helps the Izuna version of Hifumi, like the bar choice deck. That card helps that deck a lot because you lose a lot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Deck speed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you get to go do your turn, refresh your deck, and then when you're going into the Hifumi turn, you're like, oh, I didn't get to pick up all the pieces, but I got Utaha, so it's the same thing. Just shuffle in your deck, rip into your new deck, grab the cards.
Your Hifumi piece, keep going.
It works.
I mean, overall, Blue Archive coming out, I think this is a set people are pretty excited for. People love Blue Archive. Yeah. Blue Archive is a very popular IP. I think that Pants Choice and just X Choice versions of the deck, no matter how you mix and match it, whether you are playing Pants Choice, Bar Choice, some sort of book splash at the top, some sort of weird thing, I think those decks will all be perfectly fine. We still don't have a lot of data because all of the tournaments from the last weekend were on the smaller side. However, Slime only showed up in one of them, which is really big. And then Overlord got unbelievably the hardest hit, but did get a win, but the caveat for Overlord getting a win is it was from Roy, one of the decks,
The few
strongest
people that haven't played
pilots,
it, yeah.
strongest pilots and biggest stands who has been playing the deck forever, just as long as Jason. So, or
You also
longer.
have to play against Sumi
Yeah.
Rag, so that was pretty
Yeah,
easy.
that was
In
very
round 6.
funny. He posted
Totally.
that. I was like, that round 6 Sumi Rent a Girlfriend. I was like, does that deck function into your deck at all? And it's like, no, it doesn't. It literally just rolls over and croaks. But yeah, I think all X choice variants are going to be fine. I think that if you want to have fun and play the Problem Solver 68 Aru deck where you just Mocha yourself and try to get a billion extra Aru attacks, that deck is super fun. Probably not something you want to bring to a regional because it's pretty inconsistent, but
unless you really like it.
Yeah, unless you just really like it and you wanna rep it and you high roll and you delete your opponent from level 2 and you're just
that deck
it's
wins,
just
that'd
like
be super sick.
Atla. Yeah, it would be really funny. That deck is really, really fun. But more importantly, I think that we will probably get Blue Archive anime because this IP is just kind of wide open in the West in English eventually.
I guess we'll see how well this set sold, right?
Yeah.
That's probably the indicator.
Yeah,
if
we'll
this
have
set
to see
sold
how well it
we'll
sells.
probably get it.
But it's a good set added to English. I think people are excited for it, rightfully so. And I think the Hifumi decks are you're definitely going to see the Hifumi decks pop up at regionals. And they can absolutely run away with games,
100%.
grind you out. It is a deck where you're going to have to know what's in the meta and be like, this deck plays defensive counters that target my characters. It has a slot in the meta where it is a set that you have to think about going into the tournament where this is an early play deck that plays defensive counters. So it's a thing in the meta you have to consider. I am all down for I'm 100% down for decks to enter the English meta that at least have a deck building consideration of every time where it is a matchup that you actually play as opposed to just being another generic 1k1 pile that you can't interact with like SDS. I would much rather have decks like this show up that at least do something that has a niche that is cool.
I agree.
I
also just like Blue Archive, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I only played it recently for a little bit, but I cannot play any gacha game for too long, no matter how good it is. Even though Blue Archive is a good gacha game, I was literally oh, this game's good, this game's fun, it's totally reasonable to play, free to play, but I just can't play gacha games. The gacha games fucking grind me down, and I just want to keep playing. I can't by design. And then I just start to resent it and I just quit. So, but obviously Blue Archive's a good one. People love it. So,
yeah, all right. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah.
I hope to see it at regionals. I love this deck.
I think we will. Yeah.
So,
any shout outs from you two before we close up here?
Shout out to the Strictly team and New Jersey locals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Illinois locals.
Oh yeah,
they're cool.
Upcoming stuff is more deck text, more set reviews. Obviously, we're back quote unquote up to current as much as I cared to quote unquote get up to current. We have content for everything that had come out that is competitively relevant now that we have the free and deck tech that Jason and I did last week. And then now Blue Archive set they're releasing literally this weekend that you're watching it right now. This upcoming weekend, so we're quote unquote caught up. So upcoming set reviews will be things that are coming out, and then deck text for things coming in the future. Probably do some kind of grinding sessions going into Worlds. I am between quite a few decks now. The meta shakeup took my niche that I was going to try to slot into and abuse, and killed it dead. It is not a reasonable thing to go for anymore. So I'm back to the drawing board, and begrudgingly went to TCG player and bought Nino cards. So there's a couple things that we need to test, but I really hope it's not Nino. it's fine, but
Nino based.
Yeah, but
would you rather play Albuta instead?
Absolutely not. I will not fly across the world to play Albuta. I think Albuta is playing Albuta is slightly better than playing Cats, but it has the same energy. It's not a lot of player input.
But I love my dude. Have you considered that?
No, because Zoomer Mono, get out of here.
Yeah, Carmen's the hater anyway.
Yeah,
Doesn't
dude, I don't even dislike Albuta, like the property.
matter. Full name, man.
Yeah, I don't even dislike Albuta as a property. I don't know. I can't fly all the way around the world and just put it all on black 3 times and just say.
I can't believe you're gonna lose. You're gonna walk.
Oh,
over and it's gonna be like, I lost
absolutely,
Albuta
absolutely.
twice,
But
it's
if I do, what could I have actually done? There's nothing you can actually do
Wait,
about it.
Albuta.
Yeah, played Albuta and still lost. Like there's nothing.
Hey, you
might have
won. You might have got first.
Yeah, might have won, might have lost. It's not like I could have known.
Let's go gambling.
Not like my decision matter. Let's go gambling. Yeah, it's like whatever. But yeah, that's the upcoming content on the horizon. Look for it. Might have like a gap week here or there, but that's life. Hope you guys enjoyed the set review. Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz signing off, and we'll see you all in the next one.
Bye bye.